Welcome everybody back to the Winner's Circle. Dave Little with you. Mark Steacy there, Bob McClure there. Warwick Xenia has pulled off the upset in Elimination 2 for the Hamiltonian Oaks. I'm going to start with Mark. Mark, we can read a program. We know the horse has been red hot back home at Woodbine Mohawk Park, reeling off 6 straight wins. But against condition stock, what made the connections of this horse think that they had a Hamiltonian Oaks worthy horse?
Well, this horse even last year showed lots of talent. She just ran into a few problems. And coming back this year, the problems seem to be gone. The speed was there, and we raced this horse right. She started in onwards at 2. She got really confident. Bob has done a fantastic job with this filly, taking his time every race with her and patience, so even today. And she was trotting home in 27 seconds every week up there and doing it with the earplugs in all the time.
So why this path, though? Why didn't you raise the bar, if you will, and face stronger stock before coming into tonight?
Well, she didn't make any money last year, so it was pretty tough to pay some of them early stake payments. But we, like I said, we thought we had a nice filly, but we're gearing up for the last half of the season.
So what are you going to do this week with her? Now she's going to go for an 8th straight win next week in the Hamiltonian Oaks for $500,000. Are you going to change anything? What are you going to do?
No, pretty much all the same. Just make sure she's healthy, and she'll stay down the week, and hopefully she has a good week this week.
All right, Mark, thanks very much. Let's turn over our attention to Bob McClure, already a Hamiltonian champion, and now you're looking for a Hamiltonian and a Hamiltonian Oaks. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's an exciting feeling. Looking forward to it for sure.
Now tonight, you and I were talking just before we went on. I think you were gapped in last. You said that maybe I was second to last. How did this filly have that much trot in the final 1/8 of a mile to get a horse like Fashion Schooner?
Yeah, well, that actually wasn't this filly at her best, to be honest with you. She struggled a little bit in the turns tonight. She usually does that when she's got a little bit of a muscle issue, but Mark's pretty good at fixing her up, and usually the next week she's dynamite. So I think you'll see an even better version next week.
Now, what's the difference racing back home at Mohawk and racing here at the Meadowlands? The tracks are of similar circumference, but what's the difference in terms of the turns and other things like that?
Definitely a speed difference. This track's a couple seconds faster. You see that in every horse that transitions here. But I think what's lost on her lines is the fact that she's racing 3- and 4-year-old boys up north, like a lot of 4-year-olds, and beating them very handily. Like Mark said, she hasn't been stretched at all, so she's probably as fresh as anybody coming in here.
Given how well you sprinted tonight, are you not going to be rushed next week in the final and you're going to be content to come from well off the pace?
I was very cautious with her tonight, but after tonight I'm pretty sure I can show a little more confidence in her, and she'll be better spotted next week for sure.
Can she be even better tonight than she was next week than tonight? Because it looked electric in that final quarter mile tonight.
That's not her and her best. I've driven her a lot better than that. Like I said, I think you'll see a much better version of her next week.
All right, well, if she wasn't at her best tonight, Warwick Xenia might be going for an 8th consecutive win next week in the $500,000 Hamiltonian Oaks.